What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles' YouTube channel, and today is Main Deck Monday. I know for the past 3 weeks we have covered states, but now we're back into the swing of things. We're going to start playing decks on PTCGO, and today we're showing off Wailord. I actually did play this deck at a states. I got 9th place, and let's see, I lost to a Manectric Sidesword Crobat deck, which is actually a really hard matchup, and I'll explain later why it's hard. Then I beat a an Evital deck, then I beat Night March, then I beat Night March, then I beat Night March, and then I tied a Vespiquen Vileplume because I was actually scared, because I was like, hey, I'll play Wailord, they're just going to hit me for weakness, but then if we have Aegislash, which could counter Vespiquen, because it can make it as Mighty Shield, but I was just scared that I wouldn't hit it, and I was feeling pretty confident in my resistance, but then I got 9th place to miscut by 1 placement. So there we go. Would have made cut, and I actually would have played against Night March if I know. It would have been Night March, would have been pretty easy matchup. Like, Night March is almost an auto win with this deck. But let's go over it and let's see what's it about, and let's see how does Wailord actually win games. I know there's a lot of questions right now, like there's a Durant, there's a Lugia, there's a DCE, some stuff you've never seen before. So let's still can't figure out why I can click stuff, so we'll go like this, and let's go over Pokemon real quick. So our main attacker is Wailord. I guess our main wall is going to be Wailord EX. He has 250 HP. So one of the biggest deck at States was Night March. Now, if a Night March has 11 Pokemon in the discard pile, one swinging at you, that is only 220 HP. They can't even knock out a Wailord, which is pretty amazing. And that's why it was such a good deck at States, because everybody was playing Night March. And there's no way they're one-shotting your Wailords, which is great. And I'll tell you why in a second that's such a great card, such a great thing. So, for Wailord. Alright, now we play a 1-1-1-1-1 of different attackers. Your first one is going to be Aegislash. Makes it where it can't be hurt by Pokemon who have special energies attached to it. You can use this against Night March, but they do play Hex Maniac, so that one's not really going to work. But it's still good against other decks that do play special energies, alright? We play 1 Giratina. Now, if you don't play against Giratina, you'll probably lose against Mega Manectric, and that's why Giratina's in the deck. Now, Mega Manectric decks, they probably do play Hex Maniac, but they can only Hex Maniac so many times, and you have so many resources to keep healing your Giratinas over and over and over again, because it can't be hurt by Mega Evolutions. Now, they can eventually just attack you with, like, Manectric EX, maybe use Assault Laser, but even then, they're not taking a knockout, so I'm not really worried about Mega Manectric with Giratina. We play 1 Durant, and a lot of people didn't know what this card did when they played against me. So, Durant has the attack Chip Off. It says discard cards from your opponent's hand at random until they have 4 cards left in their hand. Now, a strategy that some people will use to try to tie, in tournaments, you can tie people if you go to time and neither player has a win condition. So that's what they'll try to do. They'll just, draw a pass, play Judge, we both shuffle back to 4, draw a pass. But Durant says, no, you're not going to do that. I want to use Chip Off, and I'm going to discard your hand until you have 4 cards left in your hand. So that play would not work, because eventually I'm just going to chip you off when you have like 30 cards in your hand, and you have to discard all but 4, which is pretty amazing. And it's at random too, so they don't get to pick their 4 cards like a Judge and 2 VS Seekers, or Judge and 3 VS Seekers. I get to pick their cards at random. I don't get to see them, but still, at random, I get to pick their cards that they want to discard. Alright, now we play 1 Bumblebee as well. It has Burrow and Rototiller, and has the trait Barrage, which you can use and attack twice. Now, Burrow is actually a real attacker. You discard the top card of your opponent's deck, and since you can do this twice, you can Burrow twice, or Rototiller to get 2 cards from your discard pile into your deck. So this is how we're going to actually deck out our opponent. Take their last 2 cards out of your deck, and we're going to Burrow to win the game, because when your opponent can't draw a card, they lose, and that's the whole concept of Wailord. And they'll play 1 Lugia EX. Now, it has an attack called Arrow Ball. This attack does 20 damage times the amount of energy attached to both active Pokemon. And like I said, Bumblebee is really good. Even your opponent can use a single Bumblebee to win them games. They can Rototiller, start putting cards back into your deck, and you can never knock them out, or never win the game, because they keep shuffling cards from a discard pile into their deck. Well, that's why Lugia is in here. Lugia has an attack Arrow Ball. It does 20-40, and with the energy on them, that is 60, which can knock out a Bumblebee. Then it also has attack Deep Hurricane 80, and there's a Datum card to play. It does 70 more damage. Which you might be thinking, that's pretty crazy. Why would you use Deep Hurricane? But I promise, sometimes you might have to, and it does work out. Now, earlier I said I lost to a Sidestone Manectric Crobat deck. Well, that player played a Bunnelby. In game 1, I prized my Lugia, so there was no way I was taking a knockout. I could have maybe used Aegis Slash, but Slash Blast does 40, then 40, and then, but by then they just would have knocked me out with like Manectrics or something. In game 2, what happened is I would attack his Bunnelby with a Lugia, and by then he would have a Manectric with 2 Lightning Energies, and then he would Soul Laser to knock me out, play Super Rod, put his Bunnelby back into his deck, and keep continuing that cycle, and I eventually lost that. So that was my first loss, but then like I said, we beat an Evital, like 3 or 4 Night Marchers, and a tied and Vesically Vileplume because I was scared. Alright, so that's all your Pokemon in your deck. Some people are playing Lucario with Fighting Energy to use that instead of the Lugia, but I do like Lugia because of Deep Hurricane. You can also use Air Ball against Evital EX. One thing that Evital players can do is load up a giant Evital and then use Evo Ball, knock out your Wailords, which I know that's so many energies, but they can do it. And you can use Lugia, just Air Ball, take a knockout that way, and just knock out their Evital. Some people are playing Dedenne to counter that, Dedenne and Lucario to, you know, counter the Night March and Bunnelbees. But Lugia does that both in one card, which I do like a lot. We play 2 DCs to, you know, attack with Lugia, maybe Aegis Slash, and also Bunnelby has a 2 retreat cost, so it does work perfectly. You can DC the Bunnelby retreat into a Wailord, which is great if you don't have a way to retreat your Bunnelby. So that's really, really cool. And let's go over the trainer cards. Alright. So we play 3 Enhanced Hammer, discard a special energy attached to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Obviously, this is really good against the Night March. You're going to discard their DCs over and over again. Eventually, just went that way. You do play 1 Heavy Ball. And the reason why I play Heavy Ball is because you play a Skyla, which you can search for any trainer card in your deck, reveal it, and put it to your hand. So once you Skyla turn 1, you can Skyla for a Heavy Ball to search for any of your Pokemon with have 3 retreat, which is Wailord, it is Aegis Slash, it is Giratina, and I think that's it. Yeah, just those 3. So you can Heavy Ball for those 3 Pokemon, which is pretty great. Or Max Potion, which says heal all damage from one of your Pokemon, then you discard all your energies attached to that Pokemon. But Wailord doesn't use any energies, so you just Max Potion heal all your energies off. We play 4 Puzzle of Times, and now the cool thing about this deck is they don't play Sycamore. We don't play Sycamore, so you really can't discard your Puzzle Times. They're always going to be in your deck. And Puzzle Time, when you play 2 of them, you put 2 of them back into your hand, from your discard pile into your hand, which is really, really cool. You get any 2 cards out, which I do like a lot. We play 2 Trick Shovel. Look at the top card of either player's deck. You may discard the card, or return to the top of their deck. So what you kind of want to do, and what I end up doing in a lot of games, is I would double Trick Shovel to discard 2. I would then Puzzle Time 4 times to get back 2 Trick Shovels, and then 2 Trick Shovels. That would be 6, and then I would use a Bunnelby with a DC and discard 8 cards in 1 turn to win a game. So there is that potential to discard 8 cards in 1 turn with this deck, which I really, really do a lot. Now, let's go over all these supporter cards. There's so many. So for VS Secret to reuse supporter cards, for AZ, put a Pokemon into your hand, discard all cards attached to it. Okay, fairly simple. For Cassius, put a Pokemon into your deck, and all cards attached. So Cassius put cards back into your deck. You don't have to discard any of those, while AZ goes back into your hand. So there's 4 heal cards right there. Combine those Max Potion, you have 12 heal cards. Wow, that's pretty crazy. 2 Lysander. You can bring a Pokemon off the bench and kind of keep it stuck in the active spot, which I really, really do like a lot. 3 Pokemon Fan Club. You're going to search for your deck for 2 basic Pokemon to fill them and put them back into your hand, or put them into your hand. 3 Shauna. I know some people are saying, why aren't you playing Birch? Well, with Shauna, you can shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 5 cards, and you kind of need to do this. There's some situations as well, and this is the only reason why I'm playing Shauna. And some people might be upset that I'm playing Shauna instead of Birch, and I'm so sorry. I know I hate Shauna too, but okay, let's say you have like 5 cards in your hand, or like 5 cards in your hand, 2 in your deck, and you use Birch, and you hit heads, you can actually deck out. So that's why we're actually playing Shauna in this deck. I know some people are really mad, but we play Shauna. You could play Birch, either one is fine, but I think Shauna is better because you don't want to deck out, especially when both your players are just draw passing. 2 Skylab, we already went over this, search for any trainer card, so any of these cards right here, you can search for any of them with Skyla. Any of these cards you can get with Skyla, which I do like a lot. Some people are playing Steven. Steven lets you search for a basic energy and a supporter card. So this way they can search all the energies or fighting energies, and then they'll play Lucario. But like I said, I don't like Lucario. 14 Flare Grunt, discard energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. This is how we get rid of their energies and kind of just win the game and make it where they can't attack that way. 2 Zerosic, discard a tool or special energy attached to a Pokemon in play and discard it. This is how you can discard maybe like Flowstones, maybe DCs, which is really cool. So we have the 3 Enhanced Hammers and the 2 Zerosics in the deck, which I do like a lot. 4 Rough Seas, you make it where you can heal 30 damage from each of your water Pokemon and lightning Pokemon. More for your water Pokemon. So that way they even have a harder time knocking out Wailords while using Rough Seas every turn to heal them. And 3 Hard Charms. Now some people say, why aren't you playing Fighting Fury Belt? Well, Fighting Fury Belt gives you plus 40. And I mean, and nobody can really hit 250. So, I mean, I'd rather just do Hard Charm, you minus 20 every turn, than give it 290 HP. And that's the deck. Some things you could do is maybe cut a Rough Seas, add in like, I don't know, another Enhanced Hammer. Some people like Crushing Hammers. I don't know. It's flippy. I don't know. I don't know. That's 4 cards you have to cut for Crushing Hammers. You can maybe cut like a Rough Seas, Fan Club, Lysander. I don't know. 2 Lysander, probably what you need a lot. Trying to see. I don't know. Some people, like I said, like Crushing Hammer. I don't. And the reason why I play 2 of everything and not just a 1 of, besides Pokemon, is because you don't want to prize these cards. So you really want to keep these cards in your deck. Especially, like, you don't want to prize, like, a Lysander. Like, if you played 1 Lysander and you prize the other one, then you might be like, oh, if only a Lysander is money up, I can win. The Skyla is really good to search out Heavy Ball turn 1, which I did do a lot. Fan Club is great to search for 2 Pokemon. Get out maybe more Wailords, whatever you need. So that's the deck. And like I said, it auto wins against Night March. Night March is never going to take a knockout on you while you're using the Enhanced Hammer to card the DCs. You have Trick Shovels to eventually deck them out. And usually what Night March players would do is they'll just draw pass, draw pass, draw pass, draw pass. And they'll eventually have all the battle compressors in the deck. But by the time they do that, you already have all your cards in your hand to keep using battle compressors, max potions, puzzle time to put those back into your hand. Which is really, really cool. I mean, I do like this deck a lot. I think this has a lot of potential going to Nationals. But yeah, this is the Wailord deck. I want to give a shout out to Jesper, Britt, Stefan. They know who I'm talking about. They helped me a lot with this list. Mostly Jesper. Jesper did help me out a lot. And then his brother Stefan did help me out some. Give me some tips and strategies. And then Britt told me about the Lugia. He was like, hey, Lugia seems pretty good. And then we talked about it. Like, yeah, Lugia is really, really good. So that's the Wailord deck. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm excited that Main Deck Monday is back. And also, I hope you enjoyed that new intro. I do like it a lot. But let me know what you think about the intro. Let me know what you think about this deck. Hopefully it's not too boring. I do like Wailord a lot. I think it's fun. I think it's fun to pass and just deck your opponent out eventually. But there we go. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and let's see the game right now. Alright, your opponent gets Insectotide, playing a Steel, Psychic, and a Colors deck. Maybe... Oh, I don't know. Psychic and Colors could always be something weird. And we won the coin flip. We did call heads, and hopefully we can start with a good old Wailord. And on to our turn. I was going to say Night March, but it doesn't have a Lightning. But we did get the Wailord turn 1. We get double Cassie as an AZ Max Potion Hard Charm. So pretty good turn 1. We'll press done, and let's see what my opponent is playing. And we'll see what happens. There's a Beldum, okay. We'll Hard Charm the active, and we'll just end our turn. Nothing really we could do turn 1. And we'll see what happens. It is going to be some kind of Metagross deck. Maybe the Machine Gun Metagross with Slurpuff? No, Slurpuff is Fairies. But here we see Brigetti Spaghetti coming out, and let's see. Going to search for 3 Pokemon or 1 EX. I bet it's going to be 3 Pokemon. And let's see what it's going to be. A Deoxys, Beldum, and a Beldum. So our opponent's kind of going to deck himself out. He's going to use just Deoxys with a Close Encounter to draw 2 cards. He's going to use Beldum to Metagross to knock us out. There's a Metagross. Now, what we can do is use Durant. We can use Chip Off, making it where we can discard a bunch of cards from his hand. That could be really funny if we get the Durant in play. But we'll see what our opponent does. Do they have a Switch and a Dimension Valley to use the Close Encounter turn 1? And also, we can just license around these Beldums. He did put a lot of them down, and they do have a 2 retreat cost. We top deck another Wailord. We'll put that down, and we'll just end our turn. Nothing we really do. But on to our opponent's turn. Let's see what happens. And if this doesn't get any deck, would be okay. We have the Max Potion. We have the Rough Seas, Cassius, AZ. Whatever we really needed, we were good to go. Now, he did get a Metagross, but nope, there's a Metane coming down. Going to put on the bench. All right. And there's a Rare Candy into the Metagross. Now, right now, Machine Gun Stomp will do 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, which is nothing. Actually, it would do 40 because of the Hard Charm. And then we could put the Rough Seas down to heal us down to 10, but we get drawn to another Hard Charm. We'll just end our turn. Yeah, we'll keep the hard charm in our hand. They might play like a megaphone. They could discard cards, or like megaphone would discard a tools. So I really don't want to put that down either. And let's see, will they play a supporter card or not? That's the big question. They have 40 cards left in their deck because they play Brigetti. So that's getting those cards out. But on our turn, we're gonna see a lot of passing here for a second. The Giratina comes out. Really don't need that card on to our opponent's turn. And the cool thing right now is our hand is getting really full. We have a bunch of stuff just slowly coming into our hand, and that's what you kind of do with this deck. I know I played the 3 Shaunas, but usually you just slowly draw into the cards you need, like the Time Puzzles, the Enhanced Hammers. Enhanced Hammer would be great against this deck too, because you can get rid of their DCs. They probably play Metal Energies as well, but we have Team Flare going to get rid of that, and let's see what he decides to do. Will we see another pass from my opponent? He hasn't really done anything besides the Bridget or Brigetti. And I know we really haven't done anything either, but we have a lot of options to do stuff. Lysander, the Hard Charm, the Cassius, the AZ, the Rough Seas, and the Max Potion. And let's see what he decides to do. He is taking a second. Maybe he has a way to draw cards. But maybe he doesn't want to because he knows what our deck is. Alright. So let's see. So pass. Alright, on to our turn. We'll draw to a DC. We'll pass once again. The DC is good. If we do get that Durant, we can use Chip Off to discard a bunch of cards from his hand. Because I think eventually he's going to have a lot in his hand to try to one-shot our Wailord. He will need, what's it, 20 plus 10? So he'll need a hit for 270. So he'll have to do, he had to have 27 cards in his hand to knock us out. Because 27, 28, 29, then minus 20. Or can he do, no, he can just do 27 straight up. So 25 cards in his hand to knock us out. So right now he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He has a long way to go before he gets to 25 cards in his hand. But he is taking a second. Maybe he has like Tiernos and he doesn't know if to play him or not. Probably doesn't even know what's going on. But I really hope we could draw to a Pokemon fan club. If we can get a fan club, we can search out the Durant. We can search out maybe another Wailord, and then maybe just a Bunnelby and a Wailord. Not a Bunnelby, a Bunnelby and a Durant. And we might just start making this really fast and start using Devour over and over again. But there's a Skyla, and with the Skyla, we are going to search for a fan club. Now, let's see if these cards are in the deck. There's a Lugia. Okay. There's a Bunnelby. Is Durant in the deck, please? Yes, and Durant is in the deck as well. So we're just going to pass right now. Press done. We could just put down an Aegislash and probably just automatically win, making it where he can't hit us. But he probably plays Metal Energies to help out with Machine Gun Stomp. Machine Gun Stomp. But what we can do next turn is fan club for a Bunnelby and a Durant. Put the Bunnelby down. Not put the Bunnelby down. We'll just pass more time. And then we'll use AZ, pick up the Wailord, or maybe Cassius so we can save the Hard Charm and promote the Bunnelby. On to our turn. Let's see what happens. We get a Team Flare Grunt. And let's just go for it. Let's get the fan club. Let's search out the Bunnelby and the Durant. We'll put both of those into our hands. Now, our Bunnelby could be knocked out, but we have the puzzle time to put it back down. We'll just pass one more time, and then next turn, we'll finally start doing stuff. So, opponent draws a card. And if he has a DC, he could start knocking us out. He could knock out the Bunnelby, but we could just Team Flare Grunt, discard the DC, and be in a weird position where we could maybe get another Bunnelby out. But I don't know if I want to. But let's see what he decides to do. I just want to speed up the game, start using Burrow, and try to win as quickly as possible, because this is going to take a long time to do, especially when your opponent is just draw passing. But like I said, he probably has cards, but he just doesn't want to play them. And we're going to force him to play cards. We're going to force him to do stuff, which I think is the best way, what you want to do with this deck. So pass on to our turn. Alright, so let's get the party started. Let's put down Bunnelby. Let's, Cassius, put the Wailord back in the deck. That way we can save the Hard Charm. And we'll send the Bunnelby, put the DC on the active, and we're just going to double Burrow. So we'll Burrow number 1. Alright, and let's see what we discard. A Psychic Energy, so he does play Psychic Energies. I didn't know if he played Metal or Psychic. There's a Megaphone as well, so I guess he has a Psychic for Overdrive Smash. That's fine. And let's see, does my opponent have a DC in his hand or not? Has he been holding on to one? That is the big question. Let's see what he decides to do. There's a Psychic Energy to the active. He can't hurt us, but we can use Team Flare Grunt, discard that Psychic Energy. So we're going to Team Flare Grunt, discard that Psychic Energy, and we are going to use Burrow. Alright, and there's another one being discarded. Oh, there's the other Metagross. Okay, that's good. And we discard a Dimension Valley onto our opponent's turn. Alright, so we're going places right now. We use Team Flare Gun. He has 30 cards left in his deck. It is going to take a second, like I said, but we should be able to be good to go. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, we get a DC as well, which is great because we can use Durant Chip Off. There's a Lysander being discarded. We'll Burrow one more time. And we'll discard a Deoxys. Alright, so Lysander and Deoxys are being discarded. And on our opponent's turn, he draws a card. Now, Another cool thing about this deck is since we have Skyla in the discard pile, we can VS Seeker for Skyla any moment. Or not VS Seeker for Skyla. Oh, we can VS Seeker for Skyla to get a time puzzle if the other one is in our hand, which I do like a lot with this deck. But we'll see a Burrow, discarding a DCE. Ooh, the first DCE being discarded. And a DCE, so double DCE just discarded right there. I'm sorry for that, opponents. But 24 cards left in his deck. Let's see what can he do. And there's a DCE, so it seemed like 3 DCs were stacked in his hand, back to back to back. But there's a machine gun stomp doing 140. All right, so we're gonna send to Wailord. Go Wailord, go buddy. And onto our turn, we are going to VS Seeker for Team Flare Gun. I'm gonna discard that active energy. There we go. And now he's down 3 DCEs. The question is, does he play Puzzle Times to get them back or not? I'm just gonna pass. He really can't knock us out. Probably should put down the Hard Charm, but that would be okay. So he draws a card. And let's see. Okay, there's a Tierno, so he will draw 3 cards. So finally he played a Tierno. There's a Roller Skates. Oh man, if he knocks us out this turn and I put down another Pokemon, that'd be really funny. Miltank coming down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's no way he's knocking us out though. It's like energy to the active. And onto our turn. There's 1 puzzle time, so what we're going to do is we're going to VS Seeker for Team Flare Gun, discard that Psychic Energy, okay? And we might need to put down another Pokemon, so I'm just going to put down the Giratina just in case. I forgot my opponent played Roller Skates, and they couldn't technically maybe take a knockout on Wailord in 1 turn. So we're going to pass. 19 cards left for my opponents. There's a Muscle Band going onto the Metang. Oh, because they have 2 tools attached to it. All right, Tierno drawn 3 cards. Oh man, I forgot that Thetis double made it had 2 tools. Alright. So there's a Professor Letter. Gonna search for 2 Psychic Energies. Double Metal. So he plays Metal, Psychics, and DCs. Fairly interesting, okay? And there's a Trainer's Medal. Look at top 4 cards of his deck. Gonna grab a Rare Candy, okay? I wonder who he'll Rare Candy into. Okay, Metal Energy to the active. A pass on to our turn. We get a double puzzle time. So we can double puzzle time right now. But I think I want to save those. Ooh, let's see. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm just going to license it first. We'll bring up, does it have a 2 tree cost? It has a 3 tree cost. Let's bring up this guy, and we will just pass, okay? So my opponent will draw a card. If they played another Tierno, maybe I'll put down the Durant and use the AZ picking up. There's a Roller Skates. Head's going to draw 3 cards. Alright, so he has 9 cards left in his deck. Oh man. If only we had Trick Shovels, would be cool. Tierno to draw 3 cards. Alright, so Tierno going to draw 3. He is down to 6. Okay, so there's a Metagross coming down. And there's a Metal Energy to the active. Okay. So let's see. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's just do this play. Let's put down the Durant. Let's AZ. Pick up this Wailord. Gonna send the Durant to the active spot. And let's have Durant. Let him shine for a second. Put the Wailord back down. DC to the active, and we will chip off discard cards from your opponent's hand at random till they have 4 cards left. Alright, so there we go. All of them being discarded. It's weird that we can't choose the 4, but those are 4 cards in their deck or left. They have 5 cards left in their deck. I'm not sure what we discarded, but there's 3 DCs, 3 Psychic, and 1 Metal Energy. And even though, like I said, and every single opponent can see it in the game, even though, like, they can fill their hand up, eventually we have the Durant to kind of stop them. And there we go. Ooh, the new prize wheel thingy. Alright, so there we go. We get this little thing. I'm not sure what this is. But we get a mystery prize and 1 token. Alright, hopefully that mystery prize is good. And do we get another spin? I'm not sure how this new wheel works. And let's see, what is our mystery present? Let's see, what is it going to be? It is just 4 tournament tickets. But we'll see one more game with the deck here in a second, and we'll see what happens. Alright, when it gets Marcelo FCL playing a Colors, Psychic, and a Grass deck. This might be Vespiquen Vileplume. That's a very high possibility, and they're choosing who goes first, and our opponent will go first. Is it Vespiquen Vileplume? And if it is, do we have Aegislash in our deck? If we do, we do have a Pokemon Fan Club for turn 1 to get out that Aegislash. And let's go Giratina. Let's see what happens. What is our opponent playing? The Grass is definitely for Vespiquen Vileplume, the Psychic for Unknowns, and there's a Shaybe and the Colors for Shamans. So let's see, is he playing Vespiquen Vileplume or not? That's the big question. Oh, he does have a Toxicroak. Oh man, so if it is Vespiquen Vileplume, he does play Toxicroak. There's an Ultra Ball, going to discard a Vespiquen and a Gloom. So it is Vespiquen Toxicroak. Oh, buddy. Alright, so we're going to see what happens. Can we take down Vesqueen Vileplume? I know earlier in the video I said that I did play one in the round 5 or 6, whatever it was, the last round of the tournament, but I decided to ID, and could we have beat him? He didn't even play Toxicroak like this opponent did, so I'm pretty sure if we just got done the Aegislash, we would have been A-okay, but I just, played it safe and didn't go for the play, or didn't go to play against him. But there was the Unknown coming down, Ultra Ball discarding a Vileplume and an AZ, and let's see, does it get him another Shaman, or does he go for a Vesqueen, something? But his bench is already full. It's gonna have 3 Shamans. Well, I guess he could put down one spot with Vesqueen, and the one spot will be Vileplume. So there you go, Shaman drawn up to 6 cards, and he did have the advantage. Can our own deck beat us? Because I do love this deck a lot. I do love Vesqueen Vileplume. We see a Trainer's Mail, gonna grab a Love Ball. So it seems like he's playing Love Ball instead of a Revitalizer, which I do like a lot more. I like that a lot more than a Revitalizer, because you can grab Unknowns with your Love Ball. This is probably going to grab an Oddish. Yep, so there's an Oddish. The question is, does he have a Forest of Giant Plants or not? So there's an Oddish coming down, okay? We see a Floatstone going down to the Oddish, okay? We see a Compressor, going to discard 3 cards out of his deck. Maybe just 3 Oddishes. He already has 1 down, so don't really see the need for one of those, okay? Let's see, does he do that with Compressor or not? That's the big question. What 3 cards is he going to discard? How many Oddishes are in here? Okay, none so far. He just put 3 in there, and let's see what those are. 2 Oddishes, and I'm not sure what the 3rd card was. There's a Sycamore, discarding a Judge and a Sycamore, so he did play as Judge, which is fairly interesting. There's the Forest of Giant Plants. Will we see a Gloom and a Vileplume? There's a Feral Letter, going to draw a card with the Unknown, and let's see, what does he get? Does he keep the party going? And there's a Battle Compressor. He's going to discard 3 more cards out of his deck. I wonder what he'll go for. He really can't put down another Shaman right now, because his bench will be full. So, I mean, the turn with Toxicroak was pretty cool, but, I mean, just not having space for another Shaman and a Vileplume or Vesqueen is kind of bad. Well, let's see, what does this Compressor discard? He is down 2 Glooms already. And let's see what. Oh, maybe he discarded more Vespiqueens? A Combi and a Vespiqueen. Maybe he plays both Revitalizer and a. What is it? A Revitalizer and a Love Ball? That could be a possibility. But we see an Unknown Feral Letter. Going to draw a card. And does he get to turn 1? There's a Love Ball. He could maybe get out a. Okay, there's a Combi. Okay. I was going to say, maybe he can get out a Gloom. But it doesn't seem like he's going to. There's an Acrobike. Alright. And let's see what he decides to discard. He discards an Ultra Ball. Okay. Maybe his hand's already good. There's a Trainer's Mail. Maybe he got the Trainer's Mail with the Acrobike. There's another Acrobike coming down with the Trainer's Mail. Alright. Okay. And I guess the big question is our Aegislash prized or not? There's an Acrobike discarding a Sycamore. Okay. There's a Gloom. And does he have the Vileplume or not? He did discard an Ultra Ball. There's a Combi coming down as well. And will we see? And there's a Vileplume coming down. So turn 1 Vileplume did come down. There's a DC to the active. Now he can't attack turn 1. On to our turn. Let's see. What do we get? We get a DC as well. Now we could team Flare Grunt. But 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The most he could do is just Sky turn next turn, right? He can't put down a Floatstone. He can't AZ. But if he does that, then I think we'll be okay. But let's just go with the Pokemon Fan Club. Let's see what's in the deck. There's the Aegislash. We'll get the a Bunnelby. Yeah, so we'll grab Aegislash and Bunnelby. So we'll put down the Aegislash, and then we will just end our turn. Let's put down the Forest of the Rough Seas, bump into Forest. He probably plays like 4 of those, and we'll see it pass on to our opponent's turn. Let's see what happens. He draws a card. And I'm actually fine with him just knocking out Giratina. I think I might make him knock out the Giratina. There we see a Sky Return. Going to do 30 to our active. And who will he promote? Hopefully not the Vileplume. And we can maybe discard that Floatstone if we get lucky. But there's a Toxicroak coming to the active spot. On to our turn. We get a VS Seeker. But I'm just going to end our turn. Now my opponent is probably going to attach a DC to the active. But we can Team Flare Gun. Discard that DCE. And we might be okay. I don't think he has enough like resource to win the game. Okay, so there was the Forest of Giant Plants coming down. Okay. He's got a DCE. Triple Poison will start hitting us for 30s in between turns. There's another Shaman coming down. Going to draw 3 cards, and he will have, what, 9 cards left? Alright, so 9 cards are left for my opponents, and does he have enough turns to even win the game? There's a Vesper Queen coming down. We will see Triple Poison as well. It will start hitting us for 30, so we'll be up to 60, back to his turn, 90, then 120, then, yeah, I mean, I think we should be okay, though. Onto our turn, we get a Team Flare Gun, so we're going to discard that DCE. We will end our turn, going up to 90, okay? So that's 1 DCE gone. We know they probably play 4, I mean, that's probably the most likely thing. So 90 damage total to our Giratina. If he puts down another DC, we can just, Team Flare Gun it off. But let's see, we come back to us 120. Okay, so 120 coming to us onto our turn. I think what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to Cassius, put the Giratina back into our deck, send it the Aegislash saying, hey, the only way you're going to hurt my Aegislash is by your DCs from from the Triple Poison. But onto our opponent's turn, he has 7 cards left in his deck. I don't think he has enough time to even, knock us out. He could maybe start hurting the Aegislash, but I think by that time he knocks us out, we can use Bundle to take the last 2 cards to discard from his deck. So, 30 damage comes down onto our turn. We are going to Pokemon Fan Club, and this, we're going to search out a Giratina and a Lugia. I'm going to put those 2 into our hand. Oh, we could Arrow Ball. Ooh, but we're going to put down Giratina. We're going to put down the Lugia. And then we're going to pass onto our opponent's turn. And yeah, I don't think he has enough turns to even win this game onto our opponent's turn. And then next turn we get Team Flare Gun, discard the DCE, and be okay. He'll go down to 5 prize cards, and then he'll have to waste another DC to even attack with Triple Poison if he wants to. But he has 6 cards left in his deck. I do not see how he's going to win this match. And it looks like we will take the win against Vesper Queen Vileplume, which makes me think, should have ID the last round? I'm not sure. But onto 90 damage, onto our turn. Let's see what happens, okay? We get a Rough Seas, we'll just put that down. We can't heal any of our Pokemon, but we will Team Flare Gun, discarding that DC. We'll end our turn. Take it 30 damage. We'll go to 120, and our turn will go to 150. Okay, so he takes a card. I think we have enough turns to Bumblebee, Rototiller. Let's see, because he'll draw, go to 4, Triple Poison. We could double Burrow. Put him down to 2. There's an AZ. Oh, man. So you're going to put down the Bumblebee. And let's see. If we pass, he goes up to 180. He takes 4. Let's just AZ saying, hey, you're not going to take a knockout on my Aegislash. We're going to put the Lugia, put a DC on the active, and we're just going to use Arrow Ball, do 20 damage. Alright, at 40, and then next turn we actually use Deep Hurricane to knock out this Toxicroak, so we can at least take prize cards. That'd be pretty funny if we want to go that route or not. He does have 4 cards left in his deck. There's a DC to the active. We'll see another Triple Poison, but he'll have 1 DCE left. Do we go for the Deep Hurricane or not? We can't just knock out this Toxicroak right there. Promote the Aegislash if he does knock us out. So let's put down the Aegislash. Let's put a DC to the active, and let's use Deep Hurricane. And we will take a knockout on this guy. So doing 150 damage to the Toxicroak will go down to 4 prize cards. And that's why I like Lugia in the deck, because randomly you can just take a knockout on the EX, as we saw right there. Going to go down to... my opponent might take a prize, but then we promote Aegislash and we just win. He can't take a knockout on it. There's no way he could win the game. Unless he plays multiple Lysanders and or multiple Toxicroaks. But these decks usually only play 1 Lysander. They're starting from the poison. On our turn, let's see. We get a Cassius. We could Air Ball for 20, 40, 60, 80. That's not a knockout. Oh man, I wanted to knock out this turn. We'll just use, I guess, just Deep Hurricane. We don't take a knockout. We will do 80 damage, but there's really no way my opponent can win. So 80, take 30 for poison. We'll go up to 120. He has 2 cards left in his deck. I mean, I don't see how he's going to win. And there you go. You can see how easy, how good Wailord is. Now, I know this game we really didn't show off Wailord, but game 1 we pretty much did. And like I said earlier, your opponent really, even with Night March, they can't knock us out. We'll see a pass. We'll see a Rough Seas. Let's put that down, and we'll just Deep Hurricane for the knockout. My opponent will take a prize card, but that's whatever. We'll just promote the Aegislash, and we did take 3 prize cards with a Wailord deck, which is pretty crazy. Lysander come into our hand. He'll probably promote the Shaman. Vileplume comes up. Doesn't really matter. He gets to take 2 prize cards, but who cares? He really can't do anything about this Aegislash. So let's go Aegislash. It'd be really funny if he does win somehow. But let's send the Aegislash onto our opponent's turn. He has one card left in his deck. I don't think there's anything he can really do. He can't hurt us anymore. His Toxicroak is knocked out. There's a Bunnelby coming down. Oh, man. Okay, so we see a DC to the active, and things are going to get weird now. Alright, so switch into Bunnelby. Oh, man. Okay, alright. I dig it. So Rototiller, going to put a card from his discard pile into his deck. I wonder what he'll put in there. Oh, man. So things are going to get weird all of a sudden. Let's see what card he puts in there. Looks like a DC will go back into the deck, and what will the other card be? Looks like we see another Rototiller. He can maybe put a Toxicroak in his deck or another DC. I wonder which one he'll go for. That's the question. He does put a Judge. Okay, so it looks like he's going to put a Judge and a DC. On to our turn, let's see what do we get. We get a Team Flare Grunt. Okay. Oh man, things got weird all of a sudden. Alright, so he has 3 cards in his deck. One's a Judge, one's a DCE. Okay, so I'm going to Lysander, bring up a Shaman. And then I'm going to pass. Alright, so my opponent will have 2 cards left in his deck. We know one's a DC and one's a Judge. Just hopefully he doesn't get the DC. If he does, he can promote Bunnelby, Rototiller, 2 DC back into the deck. And things are going to start being interesting for sure. Oh, man. Okay, so there's an unknown coming down. He can Feral Letter to draw a card. I wonder what he'll draw into. That's the big question. Alright, so he draws a card. Oh, man, so that Bunnelby is going to save him, man. Maybe I shouldn't have let him take a knockout. Oh, buddy. Alright, so there's a Judge. He's going to put both of us at 4 cards. If he had the DCE, I imagine he would have played it, like, almost immediately. He would have played that DCE, putting it back into his deck. Alright, so 4 cards. We get a Trick Shovel, Xerosic. Ooh, it's Xerosic. Alright, so I like the Xerosic a lot. So we're going to Xerosic, discard that DCE. We could discard the DC or the Floatstone. I'm gonna go for the Floatstone. I'm not sure if Lysander's in the deck. We'll press our end our turn. There's 1 in the discard pile, so we see 7 cards left for our opponent. If we get a Lysander, we can Lysander the Vileplume and pretty much just win the game. So pass on to our turn. We get a Shauna. Let's just play the Shauna. Gonna shuffle our hand to deck and draw 5 new cards. There's another Shauna Fan Club. Alright, so we end our turn. Next turn we get Fan Club, just get 2 cards out of our deck. Alright, does he hit the DC or not to Sky Return? That is the big question. So pass on to our turn. And let's Fan Club and let's see what's in our deck. Alright, so we're going to show all cards. There's an AZ. Okay. Alright. Another Xerosic, which can make things interesting. And there is another Lysander in the deck. So like I said, we could Lysander bring that guy up from the bench, the Vileplume, and pretty much win the game. We're going to get a Durant and a Wailord. I don't think he can play Lysander. I don't think there's one in his discard pile. Yeah, there's not one in his discard pile. So put down the Durant. We actually can't even attack with Durant, so I don't even know how to put these down. I'll put down the Wailord. I know why, because I want to Shauna and shuffle my hand and hopefully draw to the Lysander. The following turn, so my opponent draws a card. Does he find a DC? It does not seem like it. And there's a Skyla. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Skyla for a Lysander. And we're going to say, hey, if you don't have anything, I'm going to win the next turn no matter what. So let's put the Lysander in our hand. And we will just end our turn. Alright. And next turn, we are going to Lysander that Vileplume. So if he Sky Returns, there's really no way he can win the following turn. Because he only has 1 DC left. And this Vileplume does have a 3 retreat cost. The only way that can kind of save him if he plays a Hex Maniac or another Judge right here. Let's see, what does our opponent have? And what will they do? Man, this is getting kind of weird, but 4 cards left for our opponent. We have 29 left. We're not decking out anytime soon. And there we see a victory screen. My opponent realizes, like, hey, my Vileplume is going to get Lysander up, and I'm going to lose the game. And here's another mystery wheel prize. I wonder what we'll get. We'll press done. Do we get a mystery prize? I'm not sure how this works. And just 1 tournament ticket instead of the 4. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching Main Deck Monday. Hopefully you enjoyed the new intro, like I said. And there is a Wailord. We did beat a Machine Gun Metagross, which some people might be saying, you know, if they can fill their hand up, they can easily beat you. But we played the Durant, we could chip off, discard all the cards, and we did beat a Vesically Vileplume, which I was kind of scared of at States, which, as we saw right there, we can beat. We did have a good start, though. We had the, the Fan Club, Slash wasn't prized, we were good to go. So, but there we go. There is a Wailord deck. If you haven't tested it out, make sure you test it out. I think it's still going to be very great at Nationals, which is going to be our next big standard tournament. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hit that subscribe button. Hope you have a great day. Alrighty.